So hi everyone, this is Drastic Ed from the Achievement Squad, coming at you with a 100% walkthrough for the indie puzzle title, Tohu. Now, there is a full spoiler warning in effect from this point onwards because I will show you the game from start to finish, which includes all cutscenes. And that being said, I will show you how to get every single achievement and trophy along the way. Overall, it's going to take you roughly about 2 hours and 20 minutes to clear the game. There are missable achievements in this that may require you to go back and play through, and there is no level select function, so getting it in a single hit is the best way to go. Now, to start things off, we're going to start off by clicking on the credits from the main menu, and you're going to bag yourself an achievement for viewing the credits. I recommend that you take the time just to scroll through and have a quick read. The game's primarily a point and click style adventure, so you'll have a mouse cursor on the screen. You'll need to click on the item that you need to interact with, and that will result in the character reacting and doing something. So overall, I very much enjoyed this game. I gave it a 5 out of 5 rating. Very much reminds me of Broken Sword and the great art style all the way through. Thoroughly enjoyable. Thank you guys for this game. So let's get this show on the road.
Until the arrival of an unknown mysterious light. From the shadows came a strange creature whose only intention was destruction. The sacred engine was broken, and all life on the fish was in danger. Someone had to fix it before it was too late.
Okay, so now that the intro cutscene is over, we're going to wake up in our house and we're going to bag ourselves our second achievement in the game, and we want to click on the claw that is on the table just in front of you. And this is going to bag yourself an achievement. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce half the achievements in this because I just do not know how. Once you've done that, you want to click on the radio, and that's going to cause the boxes and the dog to get startled and fall over. And once that's happened, you're going to get the hint to switch into Cubis. So Cubis is a strong character. You activate him by clicking on the girl, and he'll transform. And he'll be able to do certain things that the other character won't. So in this scenario, you want to click on the box and pick it up. And then to change back into the little girl, click on Cubis, and you're going to swap places. Once you've done this, you want to click on the front door, and you want to speak to the creature at the door to exit the house. Okay, so now we're going to take control of the girl. Once again, the cutscene is over, and you're going to be prompted to pick the little console up off the floor with your mouse. So when prompted to do so, just follow the instructions on screen and click on the console. So we're now going to go after our first creature collectible once we've got this. So I start off by clicking the snail in the foreground. I don't know if he counts, but I click on him just to be safe. And then once we've done that, we want to click on the bird with the scissor face in the top left hand corner on top of the lamppost. This will give you a card, which is called a creature card. Once you've done this, we want to take our mouse all the way over to the far right hand side, and on the lamp hanging off the house, you're going to see these two little mushrooms. You want to click on these twice to get yourself an achievement. And then just to be certain, I click on the little insect just on the top left hand corner of the roof, but he moves out of the way. Next up, we want to head to the left by taking our arrow across to the far side of the screen and pressing A or X if you're on PlayStation to exit to the left. Once you've done this and you're in the next area, we want to start off by clicking the rat that is at the very top of the screen on top of the junk. You want to click on this guy twice to get yourself an achievement. And once you have that achievement, we're now going to do our next task. So I click on the fly in the lamppost just to be sure there's a creature. Bring your mouse pointer down by the bridge in front of you and you want to hit the lever just here. And once you've done that, you want to switch into Cubus by clicking on the girl. Above you, you're going to see a red pipe. You want to pick this one up as Cubus, and then you want to place it on the conveyor belt to the left. You'll then want to do the same with the iron weight that is on the right hand side, which was behind the red pipe, so pick that one up. And you want to drop it on the conveyor belt again, and that's going to cause the machine to break. And once you've done this, you want to click on the lobster-like thing that was behind the weight. This is going to give you your next creature card. And once you have this, you then want to pick up the diamond that just fell off at the top of the machine. And we want to exit to the right of the screen. Now as you come into this area, you're going to be shown how to use your backpack. In the top left hand corner, click on the backpack and you'll see its contents. Grab the diamond and you want to drop it on the plinth like being instructed in the game. And that's going to cause the circle door in the middle to open up. Now this is going to reveal a series of switches to you, and you want to click on switch number 2. You'll then want to click on switch number 4. And then switch number 1 to follow. This will open up the pathway on the right hand side of the screen, so you'll see the bridge fall down now. And you want to exit off the right hand side for your next set of puzzles. Okay, so as you come into this area, we want to click on Cubus and switch back to the little girl. And then head over to the right and click on this blobby thing with a lamp in its head, and you're going to get your next creature card. From here, we want to select the plant leaves at the top and we want to pull them down just to reveal a beecopter. Now, once we've got the beecopter revealed, we want to then select this creature-like thing in the middle, which is a pea shooter to some extent. So when you click on it, you'll be able to adjust the power and the trajectory of which the peas are shooting. So click on the device. So the left piece is the trajectory, the right piece is the power. Bring your power all the way up and click the button to fire out the next pea, and it's going to hit a bee in the tree. Next, adjust your trajectory to aim for the creature with a fly in the mouth at the back. Hit the button once again to knock the fly out of its mouth. And then on the other side, you're going to see a wiggling draw in the tree. So we want to pull the direction all the way to the right. And we want to shoot the wiggling piece of wood on the other side of the hole. Once you've done that, that's going to bring out the last bee. And this is probably the most eco-friendly helicopter you'll ever see. Once that's all in place, the crocodile thing will transform into a set of stairs. You'll then need to walk up the stairs and get into the beecopter to complete this area.
Having boarded the beecopter, the girl flies to the junkfish to request the aid of her old friend, Juncle. Behind her, the mysterious being remains, awaiting her return.
Okay, so we're effectively now in, I would say it's chapter 2. We are on our way to meet Juncle, and this is just after leaving the homeworld. So we're going to start off by selecting this creature that is on the windowsill of Juncle's house, and that's going to give us another creature card. So we now click on the girl and we want to transform into Cubus, and we want to pick up this big bowl that is kind of halfway down the hill. Once you've done that, just above Cubus there is a fly behind the rock which you'll want to click on, and that's going to cause it to fly around and Cubus will catch it. Once you've done that, we want to make our way up to the top of the hill on the right hand side, and there's a fly in the top of the tree which you'll need to click on, also letting Cubus catch this one. Once you've done that, you're going to walk your way over to the open mailbox outside of Juncle's house. So once you reach the mailbox, we want to click on the bug in the top window. That's going to send it flying and Cubus will catch that one. And then click on the bug to the right to get the next one. Once you've done this, you want to head down to the bottom left by this weird looking mole machine just here. And then we want to click on the fly that is behind the plants to complete the bug collection. Once you have that, click on the lamp in the top right hand corner and you will attach the bugs to the lamp, clearing the grass below by the machine. And so for our next achievement, we are going after the one where we are required to produce lots of different types of moles. There are 2 colors of mole, we have blue and red, and then we have the 3 switches which determine the mole combination that we can get. So first of all, start off by pulling the switch, and it's just going to shoot out a blue mole, which is just going to go flying off the screen. Click on the middle switch and then pull the lever again to shoot out the next mole. We'll now need to pull the lever one more time to get mole number 2, as there are 2 holes that require blue moles with 3 dots. Once you've done this, we want to click on the 3rd switch and we want to pull the lever one more time to shoot out a blue mole with arrows. Now that we've done this, we want to click on the red switch on the mole machine to dye the moles red. We want to start off with this one by pulling the lever to shoot out a red mole, and that is going to land in one of the holes. We want to pull that lever again. Do not make any adjustments to the settings, as this will give us another mole of that type. Once you've done that, we want to hit the middle button on the pipe, and then we want to pull the lever one more time to shoot out a mole that is just going to fly off of the screen. And once you've done this, we want to select the first button on the pipe and we want to pull the lever 3 more times. Okay, so once all moles in place, you're going to be able to interact with the machine just above them. You want to click on this, and now this is a puzzle in which you must complete the pipeline and create a closed circuit. So now for this one, we're going to need to move some vines around the board and create a completed circuit. Now I suggest that you follow along because it's a little bit difficult to narrate what's kind of happening here, or you jump to 1629 in the video and that's going to have the answer. But for this part, you just need to pick up the bits of the plant and attach them to the different pipes to complete a closed circuit between the top 2 vines in the top right hand corner and the ones in the bottom left. So skip to 1629 if you want to see the specific solution. Just take the time and moment to pause and then just arrange the vines in the same as you see in the picture. And once this is done, you'll be able to click on Cubus to switch back to the girl, as the front door will now open. You won't be able to get in through the door as Cubus, so change to the girl and enter the building. So as you come into this area, you will automatically speak to Juncle as part of the story. This is the first character you properly talk to. I do recommend, just to be on the safe side, that you click on Juncle one more time, just to make sure that you're getting what you need for the achievement. So talk to Juncle, and click through the dialogue. So by pressing A or X, you'll move forward. And once you've done this, you want to talk to the creature in the middle. And he's going to talk to you about his eye holder being empty. And then just to the right of him, on the sofa above the door, you'll find a turtle-like creature that you need to click on. Once you have that, to the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to see a piece of glass on a door frame thing. You want to pick that up, and then you want to click on the window, and you'll see a hand poke out. This will be required for later. However, exit to the right and go out of the door. Now as you enter here, you're going to come across a painting that is alive. You want to talk to this one, and this is the next character that you can speak to. Once you've done that, you want to pick the glass up off of the floor that is directly in front of the picture. Once you have that, you want to exit to the right. And in this room, we want to start off by pulling the top drawer all the way to the far right, and the bottom drawer right one square. This is going to unlock a secret area behind a fireplace in the rooms across. Once you've done this, exit to the right. Once in this room, I recommend clicking on the bird that is on top of the wardrobe, just to be safe, to ensure it's a creature. And then you want to exit to the right here. Now we need to avoid getting spotted by the mechanical owl. So to do this, we need to speak to the mouse, and that's going to cause the mouse to walk to the right hand side. The owl will track the mouse as he goes across the floor. Click on the glove in the middle to collect that. Now once you've done that, we want to go all the way to the left, and we're going to go back to Juncle. Now that we're back at Juncle, we want to open up our backpack, and inside our backpack there is a glove. Take the glove and drop it onto the hand in the window. The little girl will shake her head, and you'll get an achievement for trying to put a glove on the hand. Exit back to the right and keep going until you make it back to the wardrobe with the little bird on top. So now as you come into the room with the wardrobe, we want to go up. So there is a little hole in the back of the wall, and as the girl you can crawl through this hole and it will take you upstairs. Now in this room, I recommend just clicking on the little squid-like creatures across the top of the screen, just in case they count towards the creature achievement. Once you've done that, you want to exit to the left. When you enter this room, you want to pick up the board that is just to the right, so transform into Cubus and click that one up. And then you want to drop it down on the hole next to the teapot. Click on the teapot to get a pressure valve, and then in the middle you're going to see a piece of glass on top of the desk. You then want to pick up the wooden board you used to climb over, and you want to place it down to your left, and then you want to grab the book that is in the top left hand corner of the bookcase. Once you've done this, click on Cubus to transform back to the girl, and make your way to the far right, past the hole. This will cause the character to fall down, and you'll get the achievement for falling down. Now that we're down here, we want to make our way to the right. And as you're in this area, you want to click on the hole in the wall at the back. This will send the character all the way to the top. Now that you're at the top, you want to open up the backpack and you want to get the pressure valve that you got off of the teapot, and you want to apply it to the pipe that's flying around. Once you have that under control, click on the piece of glass in front of the mirror. Now that you have this piece, you want to click on the mirror in the background, and we're going to need to rebuild the mirror. So we want to start off by taking the fourth piece, so counting from the left, and that is the top left hand corner. It is part of the head of what we're trying to fill in here. We then want to take the sixth piece, rotate it to the right a little, and then place it next to the previous piece that we just put down. The next piece that we want to take is the eighth piece, and we want to rotate that to the right a few times. We're going to drop that at what would be the top of the right arm. We then want to take the fifth piece, rotate that around so it fits into the gap on the right hand side. We now want to select the piece on the right, and we're going to rotate that to the right one time, and we're going to place that at where the top left hand side of the arm would be. Take piece number 3, and you want to drop that beneath the piece that you just previously put in. Take the piece above, and you want to rotate that around until it's in the correct position, and you want to place that on the left hand side of the current remaining gap, and then you want to place the last piece into the mirror. Once you've repaired the mirror, you want to then switch over to Cubus. And then as Cubus, you want to click on the gas canister that you put the pressure controller on. Once you've done that, you want to open up your backpack, and you want to take the book and you want to drop it onto Cubus to make him read it. Once you've done this, you then want to give the glove to Cubus, and he'll wear that on his hand. Now that you've got him fully equipped, you want to make your way over to the mirror, and you're going to arm wrestle your reflection. Once this is over, we want to switch back to the girl, and we want to make our way down through the hole in the background, and we want to keep heading left until we reach Juncle again. Once you're in this area, open up your backpack and give the eye to the creature in the background. Now we need to feed the guy, and we do this by singing to the stones. So click on stone number 1, and the little girl will sing to it. You then want to click on stone 3, 4, and 7. Once you've done this, he will pick up those rocks and eat them. When that's over, he will spit out another rock, which is on the floor just to your left. Pick that one up, go into your backpack and select the same rock, and you want to give it to the hand in the window. This will open up the lift or the elevator, depending on what you call it, which is just to your right. Once you've done that, you want to click on the lift, and this is going to take you to the roof and flip you upside down in the process. And then you want to exit to the right of the screen. Now that you're in this area, you're going to get a brief education on how the girl can jump and climb on platforms. You do this when this little symbol appears, and she'll hop up onto the ledge above. Now in the top left hand corner of the screen is our next creature. You want to click on that. It's a little sucky squid thing. And then you want to hop down from the box because we don't actually need to be up there just yet. Click on the switch in the middle, and that's going to cause the light to move to the right hand side. And then you want to click on the lift to go to the top. Now when you're at the top, just to your left there is a petrol can. You're going to want to click on this one to pick it up. Once you have that one, click on the lift to go back down again. Once you're back on the bottom floor, click on the switch one more time and exit to the left. Now in this room, on the top there is a funky looking snail type machine. Open up your rucksack and you want to click that oil can and drop it onto this snail like shear thing. Once you've done that, you want to click on the scissor machine again and it's going to go crazy. But as an end result, you're going to get a pair of shears off of the device once it's crashed. Once you've picked those up, go back to the right into the room that is dark. Okay, and once you're back in this area, you want to use the function to jump up, and you want to climb all the way up to the top till you're next to this plant, and you want to use your shears to cut the plant. So open up your backpack, and you want to drag those onto the plant, and you're going to collect this fancy glowing plant that is in front of you. I've said plant about 100 times now. Once you've done that, you want to climb back down the boxes. And in the center of the room, you want to click on the light switch, and that's going to cause it to move. And once again, click on the lift to go up. Once you're at the top, open up your rucksack, and we want to drop the plant onto the plant plot on the left-hand side. This is going to create a circuit for us. Click on the lift and go back down. And just to the left of the lift on the bottom floor, you're going to see this purple plunger. You want to pull that all the way down. And once you've hit the plunger, climb up at the boxes on the right hand side and you want to click on the photograph. That is going to complete this chapter and it's going to take us off to a new fish world.
Having received the vital information from Juncle, the girl heads for the broker's home to find the hammer.
Okay, so we are now arriving on the third planet that we need to visit, and we need to get a hammer off of the trader guy that is sat in the bathtub flipping his coin. Now, we need to speak to the trader first of all as part of the achievement, so click on him and get a bit of information around having something to trade for the hammer. Once you've done this, just above the trader is a hammer-like bird that you'll want to click on. This counts as a creature. And just to play it safe, I also click on the weird hat-like bug and the other bird and the cat and the wrench-like dog in the cage. Now once you've done that, you will want to click on the vending machine in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, and you want to keep on clicking it until a Assassin's Creed style hoodie falls out. Now that we have our cloak, we are going to want to make our way to the top of the stairs, and we're going to need to sneak past the trader and steal his keys that are hanging off the right hand side of his bathtub. So wait until he flips his coin into the bath. He'll go down, click on his keys, and you will steal them. Once you've done that, exit through the curtain on the right hand side. Now in this section we're going to want to grab our next creature, and it is flooping around at the top left hand side of the screen. Click on that and you're going to get your next creature. Once you've done this, just above the rat you're going to find a hairdryer like system. Click on this one and you want to pull the temperature all the way up to fire, and then you want to drag the speed all the way up to 3. This is going to move the rat out of the way. You want to exit to the right. And now you want to transform into Cubus. You want to pick up the stool that is just in front of you, as you'll need this later. And then you want to grab the jar that is just here. And you want to place that jar in the middle on this machine device thing here. That's going to fill it up with wine or something. You would then want to grab this vat and you want to place it on the floor down to your right. And then on this bookshelf you will see kind of like a bug spray canister. You want to click on that and it's going to cause the fly to come out of the pot and it's going to crash land into the vase of whatever. I like to think that it's alcohol and behaving like we all are during this pandemic. Once you've done that, you want to pick up the glass jar on the floor and you want to place that onto the pedestal where you filled it up originally. And you want to exit off to the left of the side of the screen. Once you're back by the hairdryer, click on the left hand side of the screen again and you're going to exit out and come out by this guy chewing a ticket. You want to pick up the bowl and you want to place it on the device next to the bowl. And once you've done that, you want to talk to the bouncer as he will count towards your achievement. Now you must click on this guy before you actually put the Assassin's Creed hoodie on the bowl, otherwise you'll miss the opportunity to talk to him. So once you've done that, open up your backpack and drop that onto the bowl, and that's going to scare him off. In the process, he'll drop a chewed up ticket, which you'll want to pick up, and you want to exit right through the newly opened door. Once you're in this room, the first thing you want to do, once you've defied the claptrap logic and gone down the stairs with your one wheel, talk to the maiden on the left. And from here you want to click on all of the large sacks on the top floor to open the curtains below. Now with the painting in the background, you'll want to make sure everything is up the correct way. So spin the musical note round until it's in the right place. The guy's mustache, the flicks must be pointing upwards. The nose, the bigger bit must be at the bottom, and the eyelashes must be on the top. And then the mask, you want to face that up the right way. This is going to set up the stage below, and you want to exit to the right. And then when you're in the seats, you'll want to click on all of the things that are hanging down from the top. I don't think there's a particular order to this, but just click on all of them to play out little mini cutscenes in the play. This will cause the ticket to raise up from the stage, so to get back you want to exit to the right. And when you're back at the top of the stage, click on the ticket on top of the tower, and then you want to exit left out of this screen. Now once you're in this area, you want to exit via the left or the bottom of the screen, but it's left to Cubis anyway, and this is going to bring you back to the hairdryer. Now at this point we want to open up our rucksack and we want to take out the wet chewed ticket and we want to drop that by the hairdryer. That's going to dry it off and actually make it usable. The character will automatically pick it up again, and then we want to exit to the door that is just next to us, and this is going to take us back to the trader. Okay, so once we're back by the trader, we want to open up our rucksack and we want to take out the keys and we want to use them on the cage on the left hand side. This will cause Cubis to open up the gate. Now that you've done this, on top of the cage you're going to find a vase of some form, and then to the left of you, you want to click the bike horn, and that's going to trigger the wrench dog to come out, go crazy and cause the trader to chase after him. There's an achievement linked to doing this 3 times in a row. However, I'm not going to do that straight away because I have an optimized way of doing it so you don't have to keep going backwards and forwards. Exit to the left. And when you're in this area, you'll want to grab the vase off of the Bioshock suit in the middle. Once you've done that, you want to walk to the far left and you want to get into the eye line or the sight of the samurai. This is going to cause you to get caught. He's going to kick you out of this area, and that is now bringing us back to the trader. Once we're here, reopen the cage using the keys and press the bike horn one more time. This is the second time we're causing the trader to go chasing away, and then we also need to get caught by the samurai a total of 5 times. So once we've done this bit, we just want to keep farming the samurai catches. So keep heading into the area to the left, get caught, and you want to do this another 3 times. So we'll be up to 4. The 5th we'll get at the end in a second, as it's easier to get caught in a moment rather than just trying to navigate your way back across the page itself. So get caught 3 more times. Okay, so now we should actually be ready to get past the samurai. So go back into the samurai's arena, and just in front of you next to this chili grinder, you're going to find a stool that you can pick up, or a trampoline, and you want to drop that down in front of the diving suit. Switch to the girl and you want to hop on top of the trampoline, and it's going to send you up and you're going to be able to catch the hook. On the left hand side next to the starfish, you're going to find your next creature that you can click on. Now we need to wait here until the samurai has passed underneath us. Once he's passed by, you'll drop down, and then you want to switch over to Cubis again, pick up the trampoline and you want to place it on the far left. Once again, we want to switch to being the girl, climb on the top of the trampoline just to get out at the samurai again. And this time around we want to just wait for him to pass underneath us and start making his way back to the right. Once he's gone to the right, click to drop down, and then we want to open up our backpack. We want to use the stool on the wobbling stack of books. We'll then want to use the pink vase that we found outside. And then we'll also want to use this antique kind of looking vase also on the stack as well. Once you've done this, you want to climb to the top of the books, and there is a chili that you want to get your hands on. Once you have the chili, you want to start climbing back down, and you want to get caught by the samurai one last time. This will bag you the achievement, if you haven't already got it, for getting caught by the samurai 5 times. Now that we have this achievement, we want to go back into the samurai's room. And we're going to take things to the extreme. Now the samurai only ever kicked us, but we're going to put chili in his eyes because balance. Open up your backpack, grab the chili and drop it into the meat grinder. That's going to start kicking out chili stuff into the air, or chili oil. You're going to burn his eyes because why not? His magnet is going to fall off of his head. You want to grab the magnet, and then once you have that, on the left hand side of the Bioshock style suit, you'll want to use the magnet to open that up. It's going to cause a ticket to fall out, which you're going to want to pick up. Once you're done here, you want to exit to the right and go back to the trader. Now that you've done this, you want to open up your rucksack one more time and you want to grab the keys. Once you've done that, you want to push the bike horn that is behind you to send the trader on a goose chase. This will also bag your achievement at the same time for causing the trader to go on 3 runs. Now, behind the trader, this safe is present, and now we need to put our tickets into the safe. So open up your bag and drag each ticket onto the safe, causing the character to place them in. Now, chances are the trader may come back before you've had the opportunity to place in all 3 tickets. If that's the case, just reopen the cage and press the bike horn again, and this will send them away. As you can see here, everything resets and the puzzle goes back to normal. So I have to send the dog on another chase. Once you've done that, this will then open up the safe in the back and you'll be able to take the golden hammer, completing this world.
Finally, having gathered all the tools that she has been looking for, the girl hurries to reach her home and repair the sacred engine.
Okay, so we are now back on the home planet, and we want to start this one off by grabbing the fork bird style creature that is on top of the house next to the smoking chimney. This counts as one of the creatures. For a safe bet, it's also worth clicking on the creature that's got the helicopter wings, just to be sure. But once you've done that, we will then want to talk to the snail on the right hand side, as this is the next character that we can talk to. Once you complete that dialogue, in front of the snail there is a trumpet that you'll want to pick up. On top of the signpost to the left is a screw, and then further to the left is a train whistle. You want to grab all three of these, and once you have done that, we want to switch over to Cubus. So by clicking on the girl, we can make the change. And just above us there is a piece of metal that we need Cubus to pick up, so click on it and have him go up the stairs. Okay, so now we're going to need to rebuild this bagpipe thing that we've got in the background. I recommend switching to the girl, just because it's a little bit easier to see what's going on. Open up your bag, and you want to grab the screw first of all, and you want to place that in the first hole on the bagpipe. Open up your bag again, and we want to grab the trumpet and place that into the second pipe. And then for the last one, we want to place the whistle into the fourth pipe, leaving the third one empty. Once we've done this, just above the snail you're going to see this pipe above the organ pipes. You'll want to click on this one, and it's going to extract the little bird from the pipes, stopping the snail from leaving the area. Once this is done, you'll be able to exit to the right as the snail shoots off into the distance. And once we're on to the next screen, we will want to click on the bug that is above the machine, just here. That is another creature card for you. And just to play it safe, I also click on the spider that is in the top left hand corner, the spider on top of the hut on the right hand side, and the snail also on top of the hut. Once you've done all of this, you want to click on the frog that is in the foreground, and he's going to jump out of your way to reveal a plant. Now click on the fly that is above the plant and keep clicking on it until all of the leaves have been removed from the lily pad. Once this is done, click on the berries just in the water to pick them. And then we want to make our way across to the machine that is in the middle. We want to press the button on this 3 times until the water below us turns red. Once you've done that, we then want to just talk to the guy that is behind bars, and he's going to give you a science flask. Once you've got your hands on that flask, we want to click on the crawl space to the left. That's going to send us up next to this beautiful feeding contraption. Just next to that contraption, you're going to find a jug, which we'll need in a moment. We'll now want to click on the machine on the right hand side, and we're going to bake a potion. So for this, I open up all 3 containers at the top, and then click on the little airbag on the right hand side. Click on it multiple times, well, it's 3 times, and this is going to fill up the flask that you were just given. Once you've done this, re-enter the crawl space and go back down. When you're down here, open up your bag, and we want to grab the jug and we want to drop that into the water, and that's going to give us some stuff that we need to supercharge the machine at the top. Once you've done that, reopen your bag, and we want to give the newly created potion to the prisoner, and this is going to bag ourselves an achievement for giving him the wrong potion. Once you've done that, we want to make our way back up through the crawl space and then back to the potion machine. Now for this, we're actually going to mix the correct potion. So I'm going to start off by closing the blue and making sure that red and yellow are still running. Making sure that the heat is on underneath the flask, click on the billows to blow through the boiling orange liquid. Click on the flame at the bottom to switch it off. We then want to close the red tap and open the blue tap, and then click on the billows again to blow the serum into the thing below. Once you've done this, we'll then need to switch off the yellow and the blue, and then open the red and click on the billows one more time. This is the potion that we actually need for the prisoner downstairs. So once you've got that, go through the crawl space again and give the potion to the prisoner. Now that we have fixed the prisoner, in the background you'll see the recipe for another potion. So make your way back up and go to the potion machine. Okay, so for this one, we want to only put the blue ingredient in. We want to click on the left below, and that's going to flow through. No heat to be applied to this one. Once you've done that, we want to close the blue tap, and we want to open the red one. Once the red one is open, apply some heat by clicking on the lighter underneath the water. Click on the billow again to heat that one up. And now we need all three ingredients together, so open up the yellow and the blue. Click on the billow on the left, because we also need to add heat to this one. And this is going to make the potion that's going to help destroy the feeding machine. So once you've done that, click on your rucksack, and we want to take the potion, drop it on the machine. And that's going to cause the contents of the machine to glow. And then we want to drop in the berries, and also the jug of water that we scooped out from the river earlier. Sounds wonderfully hygienic. Once this is done, this is going to hulk out the guy that is trapped in the machine and open up the pathway to the right. Now, before you leave this area, talk to the snail, as there's a little bit more dialogue for you to get. And once you've done that, exit to the far right. Okay, so now on the next screen, we're going to see a bit of chaos. Let's start off by clicking on the spring bug at the top of the screen. This is going to give us our next character. So just above the glass dome, you'll find this creature here. I also click on the creature just by the backpack, just to be safe, and the one on the right hand side. Once you've done this, oh, and the snake also. Once you've done this, we want to speak to the guy that is behind the glass. This is another conversation opportunity. So to help this guy get out of the glass, we're going to need to hit the tuning fork in front of it. Hit the left prong, followed by the right prong. Hit the right prong again. Hit the left prong. Hit the left prong again. And then we want to hit the right prong. and that should break the glass. He'll throw off his helmet. You want to pick that one up off of the floor. Now we want to click just below where he is sat. There's a symbol on the wall. Click on this one, and then click on the maze-like etching on the rock on the right hand side. And this is a very straightforward puzzle of grabbing the glowing orb and bringing it to the center of the maze. No explanation really needed, because you most likely did this on a placemat in a restaurant when you were a child, or had one of those little metal ball things where you would move it around to get the metal ball to roll through the maze. Get it to the center, and once you're at the center, that is going to light up this etching. And it's going to slow down the centrifuge, and you want to click on the image that is on the weighted end of the centrifuge. Once you've done this, you want to climb up on the pots to the left of the pitchfork, and you want to climb up as far as possible until a plant pops out and tries to attack you. When you do this, open up your bag, grab the vase and put it over the top of the plant. This is going to set the guy free, and he's going to reveal a marking on this pot. You'll want to click on this one too, and that's going to light up all of the etchings on the big stone and make them glow blue. From here you have a little cutscene, but you want to drop down to the bottom, and we want to click on the maze one more time, and that's going to complete this particular section. And once the stranger has left and you're looking at the paper, you'll want to click on the right hand side of the paper to move the dialogue forward. Once we've done this, it's going to take us to the next planet.
An amazing capability to open the door into the unknown. Anyone who knew its secret could use this portal for their own purposes. The totem has been disassembled by the keepers, so it doesn't work now. The keepers divided the pieces among themselves and parted, each one to their homes. With the discovery of the fractured totem, the girl flies to visit the illusionist to bargain for the first missing piece.
So we're now on the Illusionist's homeworld. In this scenario, I like to just do a bit of a double take. He does speak to you automatically when you arrive. However, in this situation, I'd say it's worth just clicking on him again, just to trigger the dialogue one more time. He's at the top of the tower. Click on him and you can re-execute the dialogue from one moment ago. Once you've done this, move your mouse cursor to the top left just above the whack-a-mole, and you can see this little creature sliding down past the whack-a-mole's head. You need to click on him. He is one of the creature cards. It's a bit of a pain because he does go a little bit quickly and you can miss him quite easily. However, just Keep clicking on that spot and you'll eventually get him. Now I'd recommend also clicking on the bird that is walking along the edge of the ledge by the illusionist, just in case, and there's also another bird on top of a tent. Once you've done this, you want to speak to the crab-like guy just here, as he is also part of your talk to everybody requirements for the achievement. We're now going to be required to solve 3 different puzzles behind each tent. So click on this one. This is not really a puzzle, but more of a test of agility. It's a whack-a-mole game. Your character is appearing in a hole. You want to click on another hole to move away from it. The hammer. You'll know when you're in the danger zone because the shadow will start to appear above your head. The first round is relatively simple. Just keep moving left and right. The second round is the same thing, but faster. The third round is a little bit more tricky, but it's still relatively easy. If you fail, it will just take you back to the start of that round. But you just keep going until the timer is up. Now that the whack-a-mole minigame is over, we want to click on the second tent where the guy is ready to be sawed into multiple pieces. So click on the dude, and this is going to bring up one of those movement puzzles. Click on the second box twice, click on the fourth box twice, click on the third box twice, click on box number 2 once, and then click on box number 1 once to solve this puzzle. There's probably a faster way to do it, but that's the easiest one I could find for myself in such a short space of time. Click on the third tent, and now this is very much a simple game of hide and seek in that sense. Grab the Ouija board triangle and move it around until it starts to wiggle. When it wiggles, hold it across that symbol until it glows blue. I don't think there's a particular order to this. This seems to be random, but just keep going. Drag the symbol around until everything glows blue on the board. You'll have to do this 3 times. Okay, so once we've beaten this puzzle, we're going to be able to get the totem piece off of the illusionist. Now, if you look at the front of each tent, you'll notice there is a symbol printed on them, and the cannon on the left is now lit up. So you'll need to enter these 3 symbols into the base of the cannon. So click on the first dial, and you want to keep rotating it until the image matches the first tent. Do the same with the second tent until you get the really weird looking Internet Explorer logo. And then you want to do the same with the third reel until you get the coffee cup. If you've done this correctly, this will bag you an achievement for entering the correct code. And it will also get you the next piece of totem, allowing you to move forward into the next world.
The illusionist's puzzles were tricky, but the girl managed to solve them all. The first missing totem piece has been found. 2 remain.
Okay, so we are now on the swamp fish planet. So once you land in, you automatically can probably already spot the next creature. So the creature that is in the top right hand corner hanging on the vines that looks like a gramophone but is a crab, you'll want to click on this one to get your next creature card. You'll also see in the middle of the area a lady that is fishing. You'll need to talk to her, as she also counts to the talk to everybody in the game achievement. So for us to progress forward, we're going to need to click on the flower that is in the middle. And we'll want to also click on the pipe next to the lady as well, just to be sure. We're going to use the flower to shoot down the bamboo sticks from the bugs that are flying past. And we want to keep shooting them down until they land on the kind of the little balancing things. I don't know really what to call them. If you don't get it in the right spot, they will break. But once you get them in the right spot, you'll see they'll start to form of a bridge. There are 2 bridges, one on the left and one on the right. This will take a little bit of practice and a bit of time. I absolutely make a pig's ear out of it, so I cut it short as part of this video so you don't have to watch me fail time and time again. But effectively, build up the bridge on the left and build up the bridge on the right hand side. So once you've done this successfully, this will cause another group of bugs to fly in and set up the bridge at the bottom, just to make movement around a little bit quicker. On the left hand side you want to pick the carrot, and then on the right hand side of the lady you also want to pick another carrot. Once you've got both of these carrots, you want to exit to the right of the screen. Once you're in this next area, start off by clicking on the vinyl record in the background, and then click on any of the birds in the tree, and that's going to give you an achievement for clicking on one of the birds. Just in the foreground here, you're going to see another carrot. You'll want to pick this one. Now that you have this, you want to then click on a mask that is hidden in the mud. You're going to need this one to move forward later. Once you've done that, click on the totem piece that is hanging down from the tree, and this is going to bring a new character onto the scene for you. Once this lady has appeared, Swamp Grandma I think her name is, you'll want to click on her as she is one of those characters that you need to engage with for the achievement or trophy. And she's going to give you a little bit of insight into what she is looking for. She wants a dragon, but she's only got a lizard. To turn the lizard into a dragon, we'll need to open up our bag, and we're going to need to feed all 3 carrots that we found to the lizard. Once we've done that, exit to the left, and then you want to exit to the left again across the far side of the swamp area. Fun fact, I didn't realise this until probably about this point in the game, but if you double click on the left, on A when you've got the left arrow there, you will teleport automatically into the next screen. I did not know that. Once we're in this area, we want to try and walk into this fog on the far left hand side. Do this 5 times and you'll get yourself an achievement. Once you have done this, we will then want to click on the bell that is above the bamboo sticks. Do this a few times and you'll get your next creature card. Once you have done this, we then want to click on the bamboo sticks as we're going to need to solve another puzzle. So now click on the bamboo, and assuming from left to right, bamboo stick number 1 is number 1 and the one on the end is number 11. Start off by clicking leaf number 1. We then want to click on leaf number 4. We then want to click on leaf number 7. Click on leaf number 6 twice. Leaf number 11 twice, so the one on the very end. Click on leaf number 10. And then we want to click on leaf number 5 3 times. This is going to solve this puzzle for you. Now that the water is flowing, you want to go into your backpack, and we want to drag the mask into the middle, by the way, of the bamboo, and that is going to clean the mask off for you. Once you've done that, we want to exit right twice until we get back to the swamp grandma. Once we're back here, we want to open up our bag and we want to drag our mask onto the other door thing here. Not sure what it is. Once we've got that menu up, we want to drag on the goggles at the bottom and put them on the eyes. And then from the top, take the gas mask looking thing and then click on the button at the bottom. This is going to create us a temporary gas mask. And we want to exit back to where the bamboo puzzle was, so go left twice. Once we're in this area, we want to click on our rucksack again, and we want to grab the mask. Drop it on the girl, and this is going to help her get through the fog that we couldn't get through earlier. So click on the left hand side, it's going to clear the fog, and then you want to go into the hole underneath the tree branch. As you come out the other side, you're going to want to turn over to Cubus. So click on the girl again. And you're going to break off all of the branches along the way until you get to the umbrella on the end. And once Cubus has fallen off, you want to pick up the umbrella, and this is going to give you also a part for the mask creation function in the game. Once you've done that, you can switch back to the little girl, or you can go to the far right and go to Swamp Grandma. When we're back here, we want to click on the bag again, and we're going to want to take the green snout, not the mask, the green snout, and we want to drop it on the door. And now this is going to allow us to build a dragon mask. So take off the previous parts, and you want to drag on the dragon nose, see what I did there, and grab the dragon eyes, and we want to click on the create mask function. Now that you've done this, we want to take the mask and give it to the lizard. And then you want to do the same with the umbrella, and you're going to witness an incredible feat of where he automatically sellotapes the umbrella to the lizard. I wish I could just throw wrapping paper at a present and it'd do exactly the same thing. Once you've done this, this is going to complete this particular section, and you're going to go given the totem piece by the grandma. This is going to move you on to the next world.
Oh dear, I do hope Swamp Grandma can regain control of her unwieldy new pet. Meanwhile, the girl is on her way for the last piece of the totem.
Okay, so we're now in the next world. I recommend just clicking on the fly anyway, just to make sure you capture that dialogue option. And now we want to click on these little pocket watch style creatures to get our next creature collectible. I'd also recommend clicking on the others and the other flies in the room just to be sure that you're not missing anything. Once you've done this, we want to grab the clock that is in the middle, and we want to spin the hands anti-clockwise, and this is going to send us back in time. When you're back in time, we want to have a quick chat with the artist that is on the right hand side. Once you're done talking to the artist, we want to click on the pipe, and that is going to stand it up nice and straight. And once you've also done that, we click on the crank that is to the left of that in the rock, and that is going to cause the rock to crack even more. And in the future, it's going to cause the rock to disappear. Also take the time to click on the little gaslight creatures in the front ground, and then we want to spin our clock dial forward. This is going to take us back to the bug. Once we're back at this section, the rock on the left is going to crumble away and we can exit on the left hand side of the screen. So when we're in here, we want to click on the padlock creature in the bottom left hand corner, or any of them as a matter of fact. That is our next creature collectible. And then when we have done this, there are a couple of other birds in the area. Click on them just to be safe, but I don't think that they count towards the achievement or trophy. Once you've done this, we want to talk to the pipe that is in front of us, and he's going to move out the way. He's going to startle the bird at the top. Once you've done that, you want to make your way up and you want to talk to the pipe creature that the little girl is swinging on, and he's going to tell you he's too shy to ask her to move along. Once you've done that, we want to click on the device at the bottom of the stairs, and we're going to have to solve a relatively easy puzzle to help us repair the bridge that is in front of us. So to do this, we have to move the beads around. So start by dragging the yellow beads upwards, drag the green beads also upwards so that they're not in the main path. We then want to grab the blue beads, pull them up, and then we want to drag them right and then bring them up next to the yellow beads. Once we've done this, we want to pull the yellow beads down and to the left and pull your blue beads to the right. Drag the yellow beads all the way to the end and up. Take the red beads, pull them up, and then pull them down and to the left and place them behind the blue beads. Pull the blue beads down to the right, up, and then down again. With the red beads, you want to pull them up further into the square area, like where you had the blue beads previously. Bring the yellow beads back and place them next to the red beads at the top. Pull the red beads to the left, up, and then pull them down again. And that's going to solve this puzzle, and it's going to build you your bridge. At the bottom of the stairs, on the other side of the bridge, you're going to find a lollipop. So head over and pick that one up. Once you've done that, we want to click on the pipe that is busted above us, and he's going to tell you that he needs repairs. Once you've done that, one thing that here that you can actually miss, you can talk to the girl on the swing. I just didn't get it earlier for some reason. So make your way over to the little girl. Do not give her the lollipop straight away. Click on the speech bubble and you actually will want to talk to her. And she'll tell you that she needs candy to leave the guy alone. Once this is done, you want to give the lollipop to the girl on the swing, and this causes her to run off. Once she's disappeared, the pipe is going to be somebody you can interact with again. When you click on it, he will give you the swing and scare the bird at the top of the screen. Once this has happened, you want to open up your bag, you want to grab the swing and you want to use it on the busted pipe on the other side. And this will fix him and he will startle the bird that has the spoon in its mouth above you. Once he's scared the bird off, grab the spoon and we want to exit to the right. Once you're back at the fly, we want to spin the clock hands forward, and that's going to send us into the future. Now I get myself the naturalist achievement here, so in the top right hand corner you will see a bug crawling. Click on that, and that is supposedly the last creature collectible of the game. However, I do find more as I go, so follow along with me just in case. Now, once you've done that, we want to grab our clock hands and we want to spin them anti-clockwise, and we want to do that twice. So it's going to send us back in time, and then we need to reverse the process. We need to spin our clock hands clockwise twice. So this will send us from the past to the future, and you're going to get yourself the Back to the Future achievement. Now once you've done this, we want to exit to the left, and we are going to go take on our pirate puzzle. So we can also get another achievement in this area. So exit left. Now once you reach this room, we want to speak to the captain of the ship. At the same time, you can also click on the telescope creature at the top, and as you can see what I was referring to previously, I get another creature card. This makes me at 19 out of 18 apparently. Anyway, talk to the captain, and he's one of the characters that you need to speak to, and he's going to ask you to get his crew back together. Now, once you've done that, you want to click on his ship, and he'll move to the left, and in front of you, you're going to find a hypnotist's disc, so pick that one up. And then we want to go up one floor, and we're going to go speak to the guy that is above us with the fork in his hand. Once you have spoken to him, you want to go into your backpack and you want to get the spoon out and use it on him. Now I have a bit of a blip here, so I defeat the guy. However, the achievement does not pop on my screen, but it pops up elsewhere. So once the guy has fallen into the water, the achievement should go off here, but it did not go off for me. So just to prove a point, heading into the menu, we should be on 730 Gs right now. You'll see the achievement bulk, which is for dropping the pirate into the water. Now, once you've done this, we want to click on the pirate ship and we want to bring it back together. So click on the ship and he's going to bring it back to the right hand side. You want to use the spoon on the guy with the fork one last time, and this is going to cause him to fall into the ship. So next up, we're going to need to jump into the portal that is next to us. Also, don't forget to click on the creature at the top as it counts. Hop into the portal, and we're going to be next to this guy at the top. You'll want to talk to him first of all, and he's going to tell you he's too tired to go do anything. Once you've done that, click on the ship to bring it back again. And for a second time, talk to the sleepy guy, and you'll scare him and he will land in the boat. Once you've done this, go through the portal and speak to the guy with the purple coat and hat. And once you've spoken to the purple guy, hop back into the portal. He's going to tell you he needs a pigeon. But hop back into the portal and we're going to want to have a chat with the lobster looking guy with the eyes sticking out the top. You can talk to him. For some reason here I chose not to, but you can actually talk to him. But you'll need to use the hypnotizing disc on him. Spin this in the anti-clockwise direction just to match his eyes. And once you're being successful at this is going to automatically trigger the hypnotist disc to start swinging. You'll now need to match the shadow pattern in the background. It takes a couple of goes, but you'll need to let go of the disc at the right time to make sure it's in sync with the shadow in the background. If you've done this correctly, the spirals in the guy's eyes get bigger and he will jump into the boat. Now click on the boat to send it to the right hand side, and this is going to be our last effort for this section. Head down the stairs and you're going to scare the pigeon. Head back up and enter the portal. Once you've gone back through this portal, you want to enter it again, and that's going to scare the pigeon one more time. Re-enter the portal that is next to you. And rinse and repeat again, so enter this door here. and then the door again. Head down the stairs and we want to scare the pigeon. It's probably a parrot actually, to be fair, as this is a pirate world. Once you've done that, we want to make our way through the portal one more time. And then again, back into the portal. Lots of portal jumping here. One more time into the portal. And that's going to startle the pigeon and go land on the guy at the top. Now stay put, because the captain is going to throw out a medallion that you are going to need. Once he's done that, grab the medallion from the bottom of the stairs and he's going to disappear. You want to go back through the portal and you want to exit to the right. Once we're in this area, you want to open up your bag and we want to grab the medallion, give it to the bird thingy. He's going to drop the key that you need to get into the treehouse just to your right. He's also going to go all gangster on you. You want to click on the flower in the foreground as well. It's going to cause it to disintegrate. I'm not sure if it's needed for this, but I just click on it anyway to be safe. And then you want to open up the door on the right hand side. This is going to produce some coffee. Once you have the coffee, you want to grab the clock hands and you want to spin them anti-clockwise once. Once you're back in the fly room, open up your bag and give the coffee to the fly, and he's going to fly you out of this cave, taking you on to the next set of puzzles for this world. Okay, so once we're back here, we want to start off by clicking on the creature in the top left hand corner by the bag. Again, we've already got the achievement, but it seems to keep going with these collectibles. Once you've done that, we want to talk to the woolly mammoth that is in the background. And he's also counting as one of the people that you need to talk to, but he's going to tell you he's scared to sleep. So to help him get to sleep, we want to click on the chanting people. Make sure that all of their eyes are closed. So keep clicking on them until they shut their eyes. And once you've successfully closed all of their eyes, this is going to send the mammoth to sleep. Now once he's sleeping, you'll be able to climb on the boxes on the right hand side. Keep going all the way up to the top until you can get the crank handle off his back. When you have your crank handle, we want to climb down. We'll now need to exit to the right, and as we come into this right area, we are going to see a guy on top of the lift, some guy down in the bottom right. He's going to run off anyway. We want to grab the torch that is next to the guy set on top of the elevator. Also take this chance to speak to the guy, and he's going to explain to you that he needs a crank, which you just picked up in the previous room. So at this stage, open up your bag, give him the crank, and that's going to allow him to control the lift for you. We don't need to use it just yet. Now we need to click on these urchin looking like things around the area, and we'll bag ourselves another card. I also click on the lamp bugs just to be on the safe side. Once we've done that, I say also click on the goat just to be sure. We want to exit to the left. Okay, so for our next achievement, we are going to make all of these chanters sing their songs. So click on each of them once to open up their eyes again. Once you've done that, go back to the guy on the left, click on him one time again. Click on the next person once, the person next once, and the next one, and the one at the end also. And then we want to start with the guy on the left again, click on him one more time, and the next person one more time, and the third person one more time, and the fourth and the fifth. This will get the musicians to sing all of their songs and bag yourself an achievement. Now open up your bag and take out the fire that you successfully stored in your bag somehow, and we want to use those on the fire torches in front of the wolf that is locked up. It's mad how you can store fire in a bag. Some serious SpongeBob logic going on there. But anyway, light up the 3 fires in front of the wolf. You'll then want to click on each musician twice, and that's going to crank up the firepower and cause the ice to melt, setting the wolf free. So click on each one twice to take them to their fast and high-paced song, causing the fire to go up and melting the ice. For some reason, these guys remind me of the Midokans in Abe's Odyssey. Great game, that. Once this has happened, you want to exit to the right. Okay, so once we've exited right back into the lift area, the first thing you just want to do is you want to click on the down button on the lift, and this is going to bag ourselves the next achievement called Let Them Eat. Well, not called Let Them Eat, I think, but it's for having them all eat each other. This next puzzle is very much like the boat puzzle, where you can't leave a certain creature with a certain situation to begin with. So switch to Cubus and pick up the goat that is in the middle. Click on the down button on the lift to go down 1 floor. And we want to place the goat that is in Cubus's hands on the ledge just in front of us. Once you've done that, we want to click the down button one more time. And you're going to see these 3 switches at the bottom. Flip them all. Doesn't matter which order you flip them in, but turn them all down. And that's going to open up the gates to the other places where you can drop items off. Click on the lift and you want to click up, and as you make your way up, you want to go all the way up as far as you can. We want to grab the wolf next. Once you've done that, you want to click on the down button on the lift. And you will need to place the wolf on the very end ledge. Once you've done that, we need to pick up the goat again for its safety. Once you have the goat, we want to go up one more time. And we want to place that back onto the cart that was at the top. And then we want to pick up the turnip that is next to the goat. Once you've done that, click on the down button, and we want to drop the turnip off on the ledge that is on the right hand side just here. We'll now need to go down, so click on the down arrow one more time. Now we need to trap the wolf so it can't get to the sheep. So we want to hit the switch on the end, so switch number 3 and switch number 1 to close him in. We now want to go up. And as we're going up, we want to grab the turnip one more time. Once you have that, go up again. You then want to place the turnip next to the goat, and we want to grab the goat in this situation. Once you have the goat, we want to go down one more time yet again. And we want to place the goat onto the second ledge. Take down the lift one more time, and when you're at the bottom, we want to click on the middle lever, switching it up, trapping the goat. We then want to take the lift all the way to the top, and we're going to grab the turnip. Once you have that, click on the button to go down, and you'll want to drop the turnip onto the final ledge. This is going to open up the door in the bottom right hand corner, allowing you to go forward. So head down again and exit to the right. Now once you're in this section, we're going to start off by clicking on the trumpet fly at the top. This is going to give us our next creature card. I'd say click on the other one just to be sure. Switch back to being the girl, and we want to walk forward, but we want to get hit by the trap. That is going to knock us off the ledge and send us down to this monk-like person below. Talk to the monk person, and this is another dialogue opportunity. Once that conversation is over, we will want to pick up the icicle that is directly in front of that person, and behind it that's going to reveal a clue for the next puzzle. On the left hand side there's a little spring ledge just behind our logo that will bounce you back up, and this time around we want to cross over without getting hit by the rocks. So follow it across, and when we're on this side we want to click on this white block, and we want to keep rotating that until we get to a mouse. Now click on the totem at the end, and we want to climb up until you're standing on top of the icicle. And the icicle that we collected earlier is going to act as a stepping stone to get to the top. So open up your rucksack. We want to take that one out, and we want to drop that into the hole above us. Climb on top of this icicle, and then you want to click on the icicle below to remove it from the hole. Careful not to jump down, however. Once you have that icicle, we want to open up a bag again, and we want to place that into the hole that is next to us. And we want to rinse and repeat this until you get to the top. So climb up one more time, pick up the previous icicle, and then place it into the hole that is next to you. Now once you're on the top, we want to spin the top square around until we get a moose, I believe that's what it is. Once you've done that, we now need to climb down the pillar again. So drop down, take the previous icicle that you were on and place it in the hole below, and rinse and repeat till you get into the bottom of the pillar. Now just to clarify where the moose symbol is, it is behind the large rock that is just to our left here. I'll show it to you when I have to pick up that rock with Cubus in a second. but it has never changed for me, so I'm just using it at this point in time. If it's different for you, just pick up the rock and you will see that the different symbol behind it. So make your way down. And then once you're at the bottom, we want to go through the cave that is just by the previous stone and next to this pillar. Now that you are at the top, switch to Cubus, pick up that rock and you'll see the symbol that I referred to earlier, so the rock on the right. Place that on top of the rock on the left. Once you've done that, switch back to being the girl and you want to climb up on the newly established ladder of rocks, and we want to turn the top stone on this plateau until it resembles a boat. Once you've done this, this will open up the door that is at the top. Your character will make your way over to the door, so hop down, walk up to it, and you'll have a conversation with the guy behind the door about the next totem piece.
The girl has collected all of the totem's missing pieces, but she'll need to hurry if she wants to put a stop to the chaos.
Okay, so we're now back on our home planet and we want to try and talk to the stranger. You won't get any dialogue, but you'll get a statement from the girl, and she'll hint that you'll need to fix the to utilize spare parts from the now broken B-copter. I also then click on the B-copter as well because another speech bubble does appear. I don't know if this counts as a talking dialogue with the other characters, but it certainly gives you a bit of a clue on what you need to do for your next set of puzzles. So once you've done this, we want to exit to the right of this area. And now for probably what is not the most easiest of puzzles, but very finicky in that sense, we're going to have to deal with some light shadings. Now the first part is actually quite easy. The second part, not so much. So go through the crawl space. We're back with the area where the prisoner was. And we want to click on the machine that is on the left hand side. Now we want to copy what I do, but we want to rotate the mirrors to point the light in the right direction. It's relatively straightforward, this part of the puzzle. It's not too hard. Start by taking the top mirror and you want to turn it twice, so the mirror points to the right. The mirror below the next one, you want to turn that around so it points to the left. The closest mirror to that, you want to point that one down. Then we want to go over to the mirror that is just slightly down and to the left of this. We want to turn that one once. We then want to turn the mirror below this twice, so it's pointing upwards. Once you've done that, the one to the right of the active mirror right now, we want to turn that around 3 times. And then for the one below that, turn it twice. Spin the light that is in the middle and keep rotating the one in the bottom right, and that will complete the circuit. Now this is going to project a lot of stuff onto the screens, and we need to match the symbols that are on the cogs attached to the trapped creature. Now this part gives you no margin for error. You have to be exactly as the symbol dictates. Now the symbols are on the cogs that are trapping the creature down below. You need to make those shapes with shadows on top of this crab thing like machine at the top. So we're going to start off by selecting the reel on the right, and we're going to start adjusting that so we can unlock the different padlocks. But you'll see what I mean very shortly about a very finicky kind of approach. So start off with this one, and we want to turn it so the circle is at the very kind of bottom right hand corner. Once you've done that, click off, and we want to go down. We then want to select the reel on the left, and we want to adjust it ever so slightly by pointing it straight up. Once we've done that, we want to go across to the one on the right, and we want to turn that so that the straight piece going across the middle is at the very top. Now, just to prove what I mean about finicky, that should be the right answer. However, you might have to ever so slightly move some of the dials. Once you've done this correctly, and this is exactly what I have to do now, is actually move one of the dials ever so slightly. Once you've done this correctly, the crab claw is going to snip the padlock off below. Okay, so for your next padlock, we want to take the right reel and we want to put the circle at the very top. Once you've done that, make your way back down to the lower level. On the bottom left reel, we want to move the dial around so the larger section is at the bottom, or pointing downwards. And then for the third one, we're going to want to turn the this dial, we want to turn it so it's sideways and that the straight piece is on the right, and that will cause the crab to cut it off here. Like I said, you might have to go back and readjust the reels on this one to unlock it. Now, starting with this bottom right reel, we want to turn this one for the next padlock so that the straight piece is facing diagonally to the bottom left. Make your way over to the next reel, and we want to pull the larger piece of this shape to the bottom right hand corner. Once you've done that, make your way upstairs, and we're going to want to adjust the reel on the right hand side so that the circle is in the top right hand corner and lines up with the circle piece of the straight item. Now for this one, again, I have to do some minor adjustments on the other reels to make that work. It's very, very precise. Okay, so once you have done that, we want to head back up and we want to exit to the right. And we've got some more puzzles to solve. Surprise, surprise. Now, when we get into this area, we want to click on the spider-like thing above you. This also counts as another creature. And then there is also another creature on the right-hand side by the windmill. Now, once you've done that, we want to talk to the guy in the middle. This is the last person I needed to talk to in the game. This will get the achievement called Good Talk if you have been following along. So for our next puzzle, relatively straightforward. We want to click on the buttons of this big pipe here. You're on a timer, but you need to snip the wires. It's kind of like a bomb defusal activity. But the wire with the glowing light at the top is the one that you need to cut. You have to cut it at the base down here for it to work. You need to cut all 4 wires before that time runs out. It's fairly easy to fail, however it's fairly easy to not fail. But once you've clicked it, you'll get a little gas will start to appear when you have done it correctly. Took me a couple of goes. Some of them are a little bit more complicated than others, but yeah, keep chipping away at it and you should be good. Okay, so once that's over, pick up the cog that is in front of the windmill. Open your bag and you want to use that cog on the space that is next to the other cog on the windmill, like I'm showing in the video just here. Once you've done that, click on the panel that is to left of the creature that is getting squashed by the thing. Now we're going to need to plug some cogs into here. So grab one of the cogs and you want to place it to the right of the moving one. And that's going to set the little cog off on the side moving. Take another one and place it between the 3 cogs that are just below and slightly to the right. Grabbing another cog, place it between the 3 small cogs in the bottom left hand corner. Grab another and place it between the 2 small cogs that are nearby. And another between the small cog and the big cog. Once you've done this, grab the next cog and place it in the top right hand corner of the big one. I had to do it, move it around a little bit to get it right, but it will hit all of them at the same time. And last but not least, place one between the small cog and the last big cog. This will solve this puzzle for you. Once you've done that, click on the right panel for the same puzzle again. So start this one off by grabbing one of the medium-sized cogs, and then on the left-hand side between the 2 small cogs, drop it down here. Grab yourself a small cog and place it between the 2 small cogs on the left-hand side. Once you've done that, we want to grab ourselves another medium-sized cog and we want to place that between the 2 small ones, the bottom right of the main cog. Grabbing yourself the large cog of the group, place it up between all 4 cogs in the top right hand corner. Grab a medium-sized cog and place it between the 2 small ones below the big cog that you just added, and then place another one below the medium cog, and then the last small cog goes right in the middle, just here at the kind of middle section. Once you've done that, that's going to free the satellite dish and it's going to escape. We now need to exit left twice and make our way back to our house, or the sacred engine. Okay, so once we're back in this area, we want to make our way up the stairs, and just at the top of the stairs on the right hand side there is a newly opened pathway that you would have not been able to get into in the earlier stages of the game. We need to drain some oil from the machine. So once you're in this area, you want to switch from the girl to Cubus, and just directly ahead of you there is a handle. You'll want to give this handle a pull, and that's going to fill up the jug below you with oil. Now pick this one up, pick up the far left beaker after you've anti-claptrapped your way down the stairs. You want to grab that beaker and you want to drop that onto the right part of this scale-like system. Once you've got that, grab the big beaker from the other side and you want to place that just to the left of the smaller beaker. Once that is in place, you want to click the button that is just behind you, and that is going to drain some of the oil from the large jug to the small jug. Pick that up, and we want to place the small jug above the Bunsen burner, and that is going to drain the container. Now, just to help you guys understand what's going on here, the balloon above us requires 4 litres of oil to drop the radio. We are currently re-measuring that piece. Now place the newly empty jug on the right hand side of the big one. We want to then click the button that is next to the jug, and that is going to drain out the remaining 2 litres and drop them into the smaller container. Pick up the big jug. We want to place it down in its original position where we found it before. And once you've done this, we want to head back upstairs and pull the lever one more time to fill it up. Once you've pulled that lever, go back downstairs and pick up the large beaker again. Once you've got the large beaker, place it to the left of the small one, and you want to click the button one last time, and that is going to drain 1 litre of oil from here to the next beaker. Pick up that container again, and you want to drop it on the Bunsen burner to the left. That is going to give you the 4 litres that you need for the radio. And if everything's gone to plan, it should go up and disappear. For some reason I thought it was going to fall down. Switch back to the girl and exit to the right. Once you're back in the main area, you want to click on the radio that is on the floor at the bottom of the stairs, and this is now going to set you up to get the the achievement for creating the radio gun. So pick that up, open up your bag, and you want to place that onto the B-copter. This is going to set up the radio gun. The achievement will come now. Now the next task is very simple. You want to hop into the car, and it's going to create the gun kind of effect like we saw earlier with the plant, and you just need to keep shooting the stranger. This is going to destroy whatever the stranger is up to. But keep shooting away at the stranger, and that is going to end the game for you and give you the final achievement for beating the game. I've been Drastic Ed from the Achievement Squad. If you found this guide useful, drop us a like, comment and subscribe, and happy hunting.
While trying to get rid of the mysterious stranger, the girl didn't notice how she had destroyed the sacred engine, and she certainly didn't expect to see something beautiful behind it. The keepers told her that the totem is actually a relic, capable of saving the fish and returning it to its true form. But to do this, she would need the final piece, Cubus. Now the girl has to say goodbye to her friend. But she can't. And Cubus appears by his own will and sacrifices himself for the greater good. Finally, the fish planet is free of mechanism's abuse. The keepers have fulfilled their destiny. And now, all creatures can happily live on this fish planet with the girl. But what happened to the stranger? After some time had passed, when it felt like everything was forgotten, the girl's peace was once again disrupted by the stranger's reappearance. But this time, it doesn't seem to be angry. Sometimes the hero's path lies not through valor nor pride, but through the destruction of the corrupt things they once held dear. It takes great bravery to destroy the things you find solace in, but sometimes a hero must do what's right to secure a better future for all.